Senator Bernard McGlinchey.
Gura maithe de Caherlí agus luhar arm gohfuil an deisio gan seohanniu ómas a chur nuail don obair agus don sihir a chur Bernard McGlinchey ar foiil hana bhain dá condaid in ngáil agus a bhla dúchas le ceanna go náisiúnta fasta in a ról mar Seanad Éireann seo in san te seo mar dúirt ceanara an Seanad. Dunne dígrasa a bhí an Bernard McGlinchey, dunne dubar go cruaí agus a des a níos an am Jackar in san stéit am a bhí cruaí nar na ró originary go thart agus nar a bhí sé hen a gcónaí ar fáil le takeíocht do chóirt dó gat dunne a hena giga dunne dubar a chur fastaíocht ar fáil mar dúirtin ceanara agus a dubar agus a lacha ról go conchisa a dacha lei sin an bun cloch na hon bun principle a bhí aige agus sin service dílis a thar fáil dó a loch leanúna agus dó pobl dúna ngáil go maiid. Today, Yas Carla is a sad occasion of reflection on the life and contributions of the late former Senator, Councillor and businessman Bernard McGlinchey, who sadly passed away on the 11th of April 2013. Bernard McGlinchey was born on the 18th of October 1932, and I shared one thing with Bernard McGlinchey, and that was that I was actually born on the 18th of October as well, not in the same year, Yas Carla, but we had the same birthday, and I didn't know that until I was...
Same year you're wearing well, Senator.
Yes, Carla. So Bernard McGlinchey, of course, was born in a different year, in a different era, in a different time, at a time when, incidentally, given that the Fianna Fáil political blood ran through his veins, isn't it coincidental that that was the first year that Eamon de Valera led a government into power after the Cumann na Gael government having been in power for a number of years? Fianna Fáil won the general election and a coalition government was established, and isn't it coincidental that Bernard McGlinchey happened to be born a few short months after that first Fianna Fáil government of the state? Bernard spent almost 5 decades as a member of Donegal County Council and Letterkenny Town Council, as well as 20 years as a member of Seanad Éireann. Bernard served in the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th and the 15th Seanad between the years of 1961 and 1983. In fact, Bernard was elected to Letterkenny Town Council in 1955 at the young age of 23, and he went on to run for Donegal County Council in 1961, where he was elected. And I think that the people showed Bernard on every occasion, whether his re-election to Letterkenny Town Council or his re-election to Donegal County Council, that his contribution was significant in the fact that they re-elected him on each occasion. As a businessman, he founded, as the leader, Senator Cummins, mentioned, the Golden Grill nightclub in Letterkenny, but it was much more than that. It was a place where people came together, where politics was done, and of course it was renowned in Donegal as being the Dáil Éireann, or the Oireachtas of Donegal. During his business days, Bernard provided much needed local employment in and around the areas of Letterkenny, where many people, including people like Victor Fisher, worked for him. Victor, who is a long-serving member of Letterkenny Town Council, worked for Bernard McGlinchey down through the years and cannot be here today. But during those days, the country was going through a period of transformation, and of course the disco era was coming to the fore, and Bernard was ahead of the curve in relation to moving from the old dance hall entertainment venues into the new nightclub entertainment venues. So he was a visionary entrepreneur as well as a visionary public servant. He was a member, of course, of the North Western Health Board, and he also served for a short period as a member of the Council of Europe. He was a big and burly character, always smoking the pipe, and any photograph that you ever generally see of Bernard, the pipe is always to the fore. His immense physical presence was matched with his oratorial power, Bernard was a very strong political figure, not only in Donegal, but indeed nationally during some of the most turbulent political days the state has endured. Bernard, indeed, as was mentioned, holds the record for the longest speech here in Seanad Éireann during the March Bill, and that was matched. I think the next longest speech is also held by Bernard McGlinchey, where he spoke for 8.5 hours on the 18th of May 1975 on the Criminal Law Jurisdiction Bill 1975. And I was thinking earlier this morning that if one of us were now to try to speak for that length of time, what the leader would do with us. But I was looking up some of the contributions which Bernard... I was looking up last night on the Oireachtas website some of the old speeches going back to the 70s when Bernard McGlinchey's contributions would be made here in the House. And on one occasion, there was a confrontation when Fianna Fáil were in opposition with the then Yas Caherla, and Bernard was asked to leave the chamber. A vote was taken, the vote was passed. Bernard still wouldn't leave the chamber, and Bernard said, "The only way you'll have me leave this chamber is if I'm carried out." I think that shows his determination. He didn't want to let the people of Donegal down. He wanted to make sure his voice was heard, but suffice to say, he did leave the chamber. But he was a passionate, determined, energetic, loyal member of Fianna Fáil, and it's only right that we pay respect to his contributions here today. He was also a great community man, and above all, was most at home in his native Letterkenny. His huge contribution to the development of Donegal's primary town, being Letterkenny, is today there for all to see. He was deeply involved in the development of Letterkenny General Hospital, Letterkenny Institute of Technology during the 70s, the decentralisation of the initial part of the Social Welfare Office to Letterkenny, and the acquisition of land beside St Connell's Hospital for a town park which opened in 1999 and is justifiably named after Bernard McGlinchey, is now known as the Bernard McGlinchey Park. Bernard was an exceptionally determined and dedicated public representative who was always available to meet constituents, individuals, families, and any community group or organisation in County Donegal, and indeed nationally. His life's labours are now at a close. His final resting place is in Conwall on the Churchill Road, a few miles outside his beloved Letterkenny. The political battles and the arguments are faded into memory, and he had during his lifetime quite a few of those, being here during the arms trial, his negotiations during that time, both within Donegal during the political battles, and of course nationally, his steering of victory for Clement Coughlin in a by-election in 1980 in County Donegal, and had it not been for his contribution at that time, then many people say that Clement Coughlin's victory may not have been as fruitful as it was. But his contribution to Donegal politics and to national politics is something which makes us all proud to have known Bernard McGlinchey. His legacy, instead the legacy of men and women like Bernard McGlinchey, is the fundamental guiding commitment to the idea of public service. And those of us who answer the call to work for the greater good in public life can draw inspiration from the example of the noble endeavour of those who have gone before us. I trust that Kathleen Swinney, who was so good to Bernard down through the years, his beloved McGlinchey family, and his wide circle of friends and all who worked for him, and all who canvassed for him, and all who were involved with him within his Fianna Fáil organisation, can draw strength from the knowledge of the lasting imprint that he has left on public life, on community life within this country. He certainly left an imprint here in Seanad Éireann, and Jishje Goroa Anyamusel Tasulogum Gowol Bernard McGlinchey Lin Anu in spirit. I hope that Bernard McGlinchey is listening in today in spirit. I'm sure that himself and people like Neil Blaney and Harry Blaney and other Donegal greats like the Cahill and Clement Coughlin will be up there having their own debates today. But if they're looking in, I hope they're well. Agus ar Jishje Goroshit Pulir.